Yep. Good evening. We'd like to call the Tuesday, April 15th, 2014 meeting to order. And first we will do our invocation, our pledge, which will be led by our City Attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Heavenly Father, we meet to serve our community, to use our resources wisely and well, to represent all members of our community fairly, and to make decisions that promote the common good. We recognize the responsibility to the past and the future, as well as the rights and needs of both the individual and our community. As trusted servants, we seek blessings on our deliberations and on our efforts here today. May we act wisely and well. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and once again, welcome. Happy tax day to you. Hope you're getting money back. Boy, you darted to the post office and filed your extension late like I did. Our first item is our Citizens Open Forum. It gives you a chance to address the council, and we only have a couple of rules: that you keep it to no more than 5 minutes, you don't address anything that's on tonight's agenda, and you give your name and address clearly for the record. Anybody on this side of the room like to address the council? Of course.
Tony Gross, 711 Sandleaf Avenue, Oldsmar, Florida. I would like to thank my city, of which I have been a resident of since 1998, and members of City Council for their past generosity and support of Tampa Bay Gold Star families, which our families are the following. I'd also like to thank my neighbors and the many volunteers who helped with last year's ceremony. I come before you this evening to update you on the next Gold Star Mothers and Family Day ceremony, which is Sunday, September the 28th at 10 a.m. at Oldsmar's majestic Veterans Memorial Park, 250 Shore Drive East, Oldsmar. It's truly a gem of Oldsmar. A few of the highlights planned for this year's ceremony are keynote speakers General and Mrs. Lloyd Austin III, Commanding Officer of United States Central Command, MacDill Air Force Base. Also joining him from MacDill and CENTCOM is Major General Garrett. City Council member Gabby McGee will return for the second year to welcome and recognize our special guests. New to this year's ceremony will be the addition of the music of the Black Star Whiskey Band with lead vocalist Wade Saborin, who's the founder and president of Heartstrings for Heroes, a nonprofit organization that presents custom-made guitars to wounded warriors and veterans. Also, Mr. Craig Gross, owner of Frankie's Patriot Barbecue, Tarpon Springs, has offered to cater a barbecue lunch following the ceremony. Attendees may pork down on a barbecue sandwich at our lovely tranquil park while enjoying the music of the Black Star Whiskey Band. In closing, I do have 2 requests. The first, that 100 folding chairs be on the premises in the morning by 8:30 a.m. for volunteers to set up. And the second, that the white canvas canopy tent, the one used for the Memorial Day and Veterans Day ceremonies, be in place before the 10 a.m. ceremony. Once again, on behalf of Tampa Bay's 50-plus Gold Star families, I'm hoping you will consider granting my requests, and I'm grateful for your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
Anybody else on this side of the room? Anybody on this side of the room? Great. Seeing nobody, we'll close the Citizens Open Forum. The first item tonight is our consent docket. We have 3 items: approve the minutes of the March 4th, 2014 City Council meeting, approve payment to legal counsel, and the third item, approve 1-year extension of planning and engineering services agreement with Stantec Consulting Incorporated. Does anybody wish to pull anything?
No.
If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second? Second. Motion and second. All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Next is the City of Oldsmar, and the first item is the presentation of the Council Manager Award, and our City Manager, Mr. Haddock, will do that.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm very pleased this evening to present the Council Manager Award of Recognition to Paul Martanovic. Paul, if you would come forward, please. Paul is the general manager of Technicar. They're located on Commerce Boulevard, and they've been in that location for a number of years. You also brought a guest with you tonight. Would you like to invite them up and introduce them?
Sure, my wife, Michelle.
Should I have warned her about that or anything?
I think I should have warned her. Yeah.
So I'm going to, well, first let me say that Paul, as the general manager, and the company Technicar have been big Oldsmar boosters for a long time. So let me hand you the Council Manager Award for April 2014 and ask you to introduce Michelle and tell us something about the company and what you do.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. Yes, this is my wife, Michelle, and I'm Paul Martanovic. We moved down here in '04 from Cleveland, Ohio. I worked for the parent corporation up in Cleveland for 18 years. Believe it or not, this is my 29th year. It was a junior high co-op I was in. Yeah, thank you. But we're a electronic distribution center. We do a lot of work for General Motors and Delphi Electronics. We've been at our location on Commerce Boulevard since the late 80s. And it was just a few years ago, with the help of Bruce and the council and the mayor, and I see Marie there, that we annexed into Oldsmar. And we're very happy to be part of the Oldsmar family. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, and I'm happy that we could just recognize you this evening and let you know we appreciate, of course, the company being here all these years and contributing to the economic development of Oldsmar, but also, you know, knowing that you're a big booster of the city of Oldsmar, and we can say thank you. We appreciate your efforts to helping us in building a better community. And one thing I didn't realize until just now that, you know, we both, we could be in the same club. It's those folks that we started in our profession when we were 15.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you.
Next item is our presentation of our employee service awards, and Mr. Haddock will do those as well.
Thank you, Mayor. We're going by seniority, and the first award presented this evening is to Tom Ott.
I go back a long way.
She said I get the check. She does.
It was only a short 5 years ago y'all were here for your 20th, wasn't it? Boy, it seems like it went fast. There's a check that goes along with it. And in case everybody may not know this, but the check for 25 years is a little bit more than it was for 20th. So I just want to mention that. Also, a service award in recognition for 25 years of service to the city of Oldsmar, presented to Thomas Ott, 1989 to 2014. You go ahead and take that. You know what I was thinking, 1989, like 80s, that almost, in some ways, almost make us feel like we've been here for a while, wouldn't it, Tom?
And we have been.
Yeah, that's true. So I didn't do any research, you know, I never do that. I like to just rely on what people tell me and what I write, what I remember. And then if I get anything incorrectly, sometimes people let me know that before the meeting is over, or sometimes they'll just wait until the next day or something. But you started as a firefighter paramedic, 1989, and Oldsmar had not been providing ALS service too long at that point. Is that right?
I don't think we had it all. I think I was the original ones started.
I was thinking that too, but you know, I wasn't 100% certain. So now we got that established. So I wonder if also in just a minute or two, you could explain to people the difference between ALS, advanced life support, and BLS, which is basic life support.
Basically, advanced life support is you start the IVs, you give the medications, your advanced cardiac life support certification and certified in it. And we carry the defibrillator everybody sees on TV, or we can shock a rhythm if we need to do.
And I should have done this first. Who did you bring with you tonight?
Oh, this is my wife, Yvonne, who's got the check.
I'm glad.
Till 7, so I got plenty of time.
That would be 7 a.m., wouldn't it, Yvonne? Yeah, so you're good to go. Well, so Tom, as he said, was one of the original folks that when Oldsmar Fire Rescue started providing advanced life support, and we had been doing BLS prior to that for some period of time. So one of the first paramedics to join Oldsmar Fire Rescue. So we're happy tonight we can congratulate you on your 25th anniversary. I'll let you know we appreciate the work that you do. And currently, Tom serves as a lieutenant, and that would be a company officer, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So in addition, what does that mean when you're the company officer?
Basically, they tell me I'm in charge.
That's good, because one of the things that we have an opportunity here, you know, we got the microphone and we're on TV and all that we can take a few minutes and tell people a little bit about what you do in the fire service. They know that you come in a big truck and make noise and all that stuff, but there's a lot more to it, so we got to share a little bit of that. Anyway, congratulations, 25 years, and we're happy that we can just thank you and congratulate you on your anniversary.
I guess I should probably start off with Scott McGuff, who was the fire chief at the time, has since retired. He was the one who gave me the opportunity to work here, coming from California. It was probably different for him. And I'd like to thank, the guys that I work in the women that I work with at the fire department. I appreciate it. They make it enjoyable. And I'd like to thank the city for allowing me to be here for the last 25 years and be employed. Thank you.
Tom, like Bruce,
Congratulations.
Tom, my wife wants to thank you eternally for the new door.
Either will we.
The second service award this evening is presented to Susan Hurley, 10 years of service. Aye. There's a check. Service award in recognition for 10 years of service to the City of Oldsmar, presented to Susan Hurley, 2004 to 2014. You can go ahead and take that. Just, are you working this evening?
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure because the library's still open, isn't it?
Yes.
But y'all won't be there till 7 a.m. like Tom.
No.
Okay. And did you bring anyone with you tonight?
No. Bert's here. My husband's here.
Your husband working? But you did bring him with you, didn't you?
Yeah, he had to be here.
I bet he'd like to come out, and be part of this event, wouldn't he?
Mr. Had to go by myself back there. I'm good in cameras and recording.
So? I got
Kathy's gonna come.
out. Okay.
I'm gonna come out of his cubby. That's hilarious.
So, why don't you introduce who you brought with you tonight, Susan?
This is my husband, Michael.
I'm so glad that you could come tonight, Michael. And
Really, sir.
recognize Susan on our 10th anniversary. Susan is the children's librarian at the Oldsmar Public Library. As I read the plaque, You know that we're recognizing her for our 10th anniversary. So she started in 2004, working at the library, but you had a different job then, didn't you?
I did. I was circulation assistant.
Okay. You know, we can imagine what the children's librarian does, but we probably have no idea what the circulation assistant does.
I checked out and checked in books.
Oh, okay. Okay. And do you have any other positions in between when you started and now you're the children's librarian?
No.
Okay. So 10.
Very to the point.
Yeah, she's probably ready to get this over with. Anyway, we're happy that we could recognize you tonight on your 10th anniversary to let you know we appreciate the work that you do. Just say thank you and congratulations, happy anniversary, and anything you'd like to share.
No, thank you.
Y'all don't want to tell us about your vacation or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Okay, the third service award this evening is presented to Brian Peters, 10 years of service. Congratulations, Brian. And who did you bring with you this evening?
My wife, Deanna, and my stepson, Connor.
Hi, glad that you came this evening also, and that it was much easier to have you come up and participate. That last guy, you know, it was tough to get him out here, wasn't it? Being here? Check goes along with that service award, Brian. It's in recognition for 10 years of service to the City of Oldsmar, presented to Brian Peters, 2004 to 2014. You can take that. And I'm happy that we can offer our congratulations for your 10th anniversary. That's 1 decade now with the City of Oldsmar and Oldsmar Fire Rescue. And it is a milestone that we recognize, and I'm happy this evening that you and your family came, and we can just offer our congratulations and let you know we appreciate the job that you do. Anything you want to share with the group or the people or even the television audience?
Oh, thank you. 10 years. It's good.
Okay, well, yeah, we just can't end it that quick, so I'm going to have to do some other things. And what I've noticed this evening, in looking out in the audience, there's a number of folks from Oldsmar Fire Rescue that came this evening, probably, I guess they all came because you're getting your award, and then Tom and his wife came, you know, because he got his also. And it's always risky, you know, when you call out names and recognize people, but I'm going to do that real quick, and if I miss anything, you let any one of them, you know, be sure and let me know. I'm just going to start over there to my far left. Chief O'Neill is here. Jason is here. Kenny, Tom, Deb, Chris, Jeremiah, Aaron, Tom. How was that?
That's good.
So I'm glad all y'all came too. And just once again, congratulations and happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Good job.
Nice. And that wraps up the Bruce Haddock Comedy Hour.
For the attempt.
Yeah. The next,
vacancies, aren't there?
yep. The next item is the presentation of the Homer Brunson Ward Schrecengost Governmental Award, and John Giordano, please come up. And we've got the video to tell you all about it.
The Homer Brunson and Ward Schrecengost Award was established in 1990 by the city council at that time. This award serves two purposes. The first purpose is to recognize two of the city leaders that dedicated themselves to the city as servants. Ward Schrecengost served the city of Oldsmar for 16 years as mayor in the 1950s, the 1960s. His last term was in 1970. Homer Brunson served the city of Oldsmar 11 years as a council person and 1 year as the mayor. Homer Brunson died in office in 1975. These two guys served this city with dedication and love for their city. It was ironic. In 1970, I had the privilege of serving on council with both of these men. I sat between them. I got the education in my life sitting between these two politicians, and I'm telling you, they were the old-time politicians. They didn't like each other. Homer was a diehard Democrat, and Ward was a diehard Republican. And they both brought that feeling to the council meetings, and it was incredible. But these two men were dedicated to the city of Oldsmar. And that's the reason why we have the Homer Brunson Ward Schrecengost Award, for one reason, and that's to keep these two guys' names in the forefront of serving the city. The second reason this award is important is because the award goes to a city employee that is chosen by their peers. This employee is not chosen by the council, not chosen by the city manager. This individual is chosen by their peers for their dedication to city government of the city of Oldsmar.
Thank you, Jerry. It is a great award because it is something that is nominated by your peers. They pick you and they give you reasons why. And the reason they picked John is a perfect employee, always on time and ready for work. He takes care of everything required and goes above and beyond to take care of those little things most people forget. He's a great person to work. He's always offering assistance. There's more. Always offering assistance to others, takes pride in his job in the city of Oldsmar, patiently trains our new employees at the RO plant, works late and comes in early to make sure everything is working correctly. He is a great person outside of work as well, somebody you can trust and rely on. He deserves this award, so congratulations. Here's a check for you, and you also get an extra day off in the year 2026. The Homer Brunson Ward Schrecengost Governmental Award presented to John Giordano for his outstanding service, dedication, and leadership to the City of Oldsmar, 2014 first quarter. Good, congratulations. That's great. Thank you. Next is the Proclamation of National Day of Prayer, May 1st, 2014, and I will go ahead and read that. National Day of Prayer, whereas Americans have turned to Almighty God in prayer since our nation's founding, and whereas throughout the history of the state and nation, we have humbly bowed in prayer for guidance and comfort where needed, and have given thanks for our many blessings which God has generously bestowed on the nation since its inception, and whereas prayer has comforted us in times of sorrow and given us strength and hope for the future, we ask God to keep his hand upon us and bless the city of Oldsmar, the great state of Florida in the United States of America. And whereas we continue to give thanks for the men and women of the military who are defending freedom, we humbly ask God for his protection and prayer for peace throughout the world. And whereas the National Day of Prayer is a day set aside by Congress for all Americans to pray and reaffirm the spiritual principles upon which this nation is founded, and whereas this year is the 63rd anniversary of on the conservative annual observance of the National Day of Prayer, and the theme this year is One Voice United in Prayer, which is based on the verse from Romans 15-6 stating, so that with one mind and one voice you may glorify the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. And whereas on May 1st, Americans will unite at specific times in prayer for our nation and state to acknowledge our dependence upon God, to give thanks to Him, to recognize our need for personal and corporate renewal, and to invoke God's blessing upon our leaders and our families. Now, therefore, I, Doug Beavis, Mayor of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim May 1st, 2014 as National Prayer Day in the City of Oldsmar, encourage all citizens to give thanks according to his or her own faith for the freedoms and blessings we have received and for God's continued guidance, comfort, and protection. I invite all citizens to join in observing this day with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities dated this, the 15th day of April, 2014. Doug Beavis, Mayor, and I'm giving that to Whitney. I'll come over there. Thank you. I'm going to let you say something.
Okay.
We just wanted to extend an invitation to the council and to all of you within earshot to come on out on May the 1st. That's a Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. in front of City Hall. And I know some of you are familiar and you participate every year. This is going to be the first year that my husband and I are coordinating it. Usually it's Pastor Barry and Tracy Sullivan, and they've done a great job in years past. And we just wanted to invite everybody to come, and we consider it a great privilege to live in a country that allows us this freedom. So we hope that you guys can come out. Thank you.
Thank you. And I have one more item. It's item 7A on your agenda.
Oh my God.
A local resident, Bill Holden, who has done these for just about everybody on here. It looks like we need to add some red to this one. Come down.
Oh dear. Oh, these are
That'd
great.
be too funny if she was wearing that blue
He
shirt.
is,
I know.
Oh my gosh.
he's a Bel Air resident. He says, Doug, would you do me a favor and present this sculpture to Ann Stefan, City Clerk of the City of Oldsmar? I would appreciate it, as I cannot make it myself. I love watching the tapes of your council meetings on TV. I miss seeing Janice sitting next to Jerry. It's not the same without her, but life goes on. She has done a lot for us folks in Bel Air and Oldsmar. A wife of 62 plus years, and I have lived in Oldsmar for over 30 years and wouldn't live anywhere else. We have seen many improvements over the years, thanks to all the council members, past and present. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Bill, the sculptor, Holden. So this goes to Ann. It says, to Ann Stefan, City Clerk of the City of Oldsmar, a nice lady with pretty blue eyes.
Oh,
That's awesome. Great.
Typical city clerk, I said item 7A, and she's looking down at the sheet going, what? That's all under the City of Oldsmar. Next is our city attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. Item number 8 is the second and final reading and public hearing of Ordinance 2014-04. I'll read that by title only. Ordinance 2014-04, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, rezoning certain real property described as lots 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. The northwesterly 70 feet of Lot 41 and the southeasterly 20 feet of Lot 41 of Block 10, Tampa Shores Bay section, in that property commonly known as 802 Shore Drive East from E2 Estate Residential to R1 Residential Single Family District, and providing for the effective date. That was the second and final reading of Ordinance 2014-04 by title only. It requires a public hearing.
This is a public hearing. Does anybody in the audience wish to address this item? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Anybody on council have any questions? I need a motion.
so moved.
Motion and a second. Second. And just roll.
Yes.
And we need a roll call, please.
Councilmember Bieberland?
Yes.
Councilmember Roniker?
Aye.
Councilmember McGee?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Aye.
Second and final reading of Ordinance 2014-04, rezoning 11 properties on Shore Drive East from estate residential to residential single family is passed with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Mr. Mayor, council members, item number 9 is the first reading and public hearing of ordinance 2014-02. I'll read that by title only. Ordinance 2014-02, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar amending the land use designation on that certain real property described as lots 28 and 29, block 17, and lots 2 and 3, block 18, West Oldsmar, section 1, from county designation of residential urban to city designation of residential urban, and providing for an effective date. That was a reading of ordinance 2014-02 by title only. It is the first reading and it requires a public hearing.
This is a public hearing. Does anybody from the public wish to address this particular item? Seeing no one, will close the public hearing. I need a motion.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilmember Beaverland?
Next one.
Yes.
Councilmember Roniker?
Aye.
Councilmember McGee?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Aye.
First reading of ordinance 2014-02, amending the land use designation on that certain real property described as lots 28 and 29, block 17, and lots 2 and 3, block 18, West Oldsmar, section 1, from county designation of residential urban to city designation of residential urban, is passed with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you. The next item is a quasi-judicial hearing. This is the first reading, public hearing of ordinance 2014-03. I'll read that by title only. Ordinance 2014-03, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, rezoning certain real property described as lots 28 and 29, block 17, and lots 2 and 3, block 18, West Oldsmar, section 1, from county's designation of R4, 1, 2, and 3 family residential district to the City of Oldsmar zoning designation of R3, residential 2 and 3 family district, and providing for the effective date. That's a reading of ordinance 2014-03 by title only. And we need to go ahead and swear in anyone that's going to speak on this particular item. Raise your right hand, be sworn in. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. So, Marie, do you have a presentation you want to make on this?
We're definitely planning and redevelopment director. Yes, this rezoning is for properties that were previously annexed in 2013 and basically putting the city's zoning designation on it. And it's a rezoning from county R4, 1, 2, 3 family residential district to R3 residential 2 and 3 family district for block 17. Lots 28 and 29, block 18, lots 2 and 3, West Oldsmar, section number 1. And this rezoning was reviewed against the standards outlined in section 3.15.3 of the Land Development Code, and based on that review, staff is recommending approval of the rezoning. And at the March 12th Planning Board meeting, the staff concurred with staff's recommendation. Any questions?
And you would like to?
Enter the staff report into the record, yes.
This is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak either for or against this particular item? Any additional comments from staff? We'll close the public hearing. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilmember Beaverland?
Yes.
Councilmember Roniker?
Aye.
Councilmember McGee?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Norris?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Aye.
First reading of ordinance 2014-03, rezoning certain real property described as lots 28 and 29, block 17, and lots 2 and 3, block 18, West Oldsmar, section 1, from county zoning designation of R4 to the city's Oldsmar zoning designation of R3 is passed with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you, and that's all I have.
Thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is to consider approval of an agreement with CSX Transportation for engineering design services. This work is to be done at 3 locations along the, or as part of the CSX Railroad. It includes the closing of Exeter Street, the relocation of gates from Exeter Street to Forest Lakes Boulevard. Those are the crossing gates, and also opening an additional railroad crossing at Burbank Road. In December of last year, the council approved a stipulation of parties agreement with CSX Railroad, the city, and the Department of Transportation. So this is the next step in moving the project forward. This agreement covers engineering design services. It does not include construction. There'll be a separate agreement or agreements for that later on. The amount of the agreement is $55,856. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond to those. I recommend approval of the engineering agreement with CSX Transportation Incorporated.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Jerry?
How close does this bring us to Burbank?
Well, this includes the design work for all 3 locations, and the actual work on the railroad itself, the railroad right-of-way, has to be completed by December of 17. I would say that the construction of Burbank is further out than that in the capital improvements program, which we'll be reviewing in the next couple of months. Douglas Road is scheduled to be improved before Burbank's constructed.
Okay, but Douglas isn't, when is Douglas? You know, we've been.
That's in about 2 or 3 years
We've been
still.
working on this thing for 85 years.
Seems like it.
A long time, yeah.
Why? Okay. Well, when we discuss this a little later, can you come back to us at that time when we discuss it with that wish book we go to every year, wherever we go? You know, we
Our
usually-
priorities?
Yeah, we usually go to Georgia or Alabama or somewhere. Can you bring us back a more defined time? I mean, you people are the money crunchers. Can we bring this thing closer? I would like to see it happen in
Well,
my
I'm sure we'll have a
lifetime.
more, you know, we'll discuss that a little more in depth when we review the capital improvement program. That'll probably be in June. I can give you the answer tonight.
I don't want your answer tonight, because you're gonna
Okay.
tell me no, but I want the answer later. I don't
Okay.
hear no no's.
Okay.
What if I'm opposed to it being sooner? I'd like to keep Exeter Street open as long as possible.
Some of the people on this council, I would hope would still be here to see it happen. Not me, but some of you people over here. That would be incredible. You might can invite me to the ceremonies, but we'll talk about it.
Well, I guess the one date that is firm is that in all 3 locations, the work within the railroad right-of-way must be completed by December of 17.
That's good, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Passes 5-0, thank you.
Thank you. Mayor and Council, item 12, consider approval of the interlocal agreement for creation of the Metropolitan Planning Organization. As the council is well aware, for at least a few years, there has been an effort within Pinellas County to merge the Pinellas Planning Council and the Pinellas County Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO. And just very briefly, historically, the Pinellas Planning Council, or PPC, has been responsible for land use planning in Pinellas County, and the MPO was responsible for transportation planning. And over the past few years and through the work and effort of many people, including Council Member Roniker, who served on both of those boards at the same time, actually, a few years ago. And of course, it requires the governor's approval, and that occurred recently. And the end result now is this agreement before you this evening for your consideration does complete or would implement the merger of the PPC and the MPO. And there are 27 parties to this agreement, all 24 municipalities, the county, the PSTA, and the Florida Department of Transportation. So assuming that you approve tonight, we're moving forward and doing our part to see this new agreement finalized and put into place as a recreated, reestablished Pinellas County MPO. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond to those. I recommend approval of the interlocal agreement for creation of the Metropolitan Planning Organization.
Thank you. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Jimmy, got any thoughts on this?
It's a long time coming.
It's a long
time coming.
It's been a long time.
So-
Question,
Yeah.
are we still gonna have a seat on this thing?
Yeah, it's the same revolving seat, safety harbor tarpon, and
It's gonna be a revolving seat now?
it's the same way to,
Be like the MPO was.
yep, it's the same way the MPO is.
Except it's 2 years versus 4.
Yeah, it's two.
It's
The MPO is only 2 years now.
all the terms are 4 years in the agreement, except for Tarpon Springs, Oldsmar, and Safety Harbor. It's a 2-year change.
Oh, okay.
So that's what the agreement provides for, 4-year terms. If you look at section 4.02 of the agreement, that's where it talks about.
Well, that changed since I was last involved with the executive committee on that, because
Oh, really?
it used to be.
The rotation every 2 years has been that way for about 20 years.
So
It is two, yeah, he's
There's,
saying, for us, it's 2 years.
right, well, you were confusing me with the 4 years.
Yeah, it says, except as provided below, the term of office for the members of the MPO shall be 4 years. And then it talks about Oldsmar, Safety Harbor, and Tarpon Springs being 2 years.
Okay, yeah, then that's exactly what we wanted back in the day when I was on the executive committee to make this happen.
And I believe, I think
On
it's,
the MPO, on the PPC, we had a member on there constantly.
yeah, I'm on it right now. Yeah, I'm on the PPC, so, but, you know, I have faith in the relationship that we have with Tarpon and Safety Harbor, and I believe Safety Harbor is next up to take the lead, so,
And the planning council is going to be simplified when they change a lot of the land uses and stuff like that.
yeah. So, any other discussion? Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Passes
Starts
5
with
to
an
nothing.
I.
Thank you. Mayor and council, the next item, authorize the city attorney to prepare an ordinance annexing 2 West Oldsmar parcels owned by the Florida Department of Transportation. These are stormwater ponds located in West Oldsmar. They're owned by DOT. One is, one is near the Safety Harbor Oldsmar Bridge, and for a landmark to orient people, it's close to the Hess Station. And the other one is kind of at the other end of West Oldsmar, near what I call the small bridge that goes across Moccasin Creek. So, of course, they don't pay any taxes, but they will make some other properties contiguous to the city limits. And so I do recommend this evening that you authorize the city attorney to prepare an ordinance annexing these 2 parcels, and it is at the property owner's request. They're voluntary annexations, just like all the others that we've done in West Oldsmar.
Great, thank you. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion on this? This is a great thing. It gets contiguous to more property.
It is, it does. Just to matter of a little bit of history on this thing, you know, in 1918 and 1919, we had no way to get to Safety Harbor. The bridge wasn't there until 1926 when it was built. So there was, whenever you go on Tampa Road west, just after you pass Harbor Palms, and before you get to that new medical building that nobody has ever sat in there, if you look to the left between the entrance Harbor Palm, you know,
Little bridge, yeah.
there's a little concrete bridge there.
Yep.
That was built in 1919, around 1920, and that was the road that just west of the railroad tracks, there was 2 wooden bridges built, and that little bridge took you over there, took you over Moccasin Creek into Safety Harbor. You know where the ice cream shop is on 580? That's where it came out, right in there. So this is another piece of history of the Moccasin Creek and the places that we're annexing one at a time.
One at a time. One at a time. Any other discussion? Motion and a second, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Passes 5-0, thank you. Anything else?
No, sir, that's all.
City Clerk.
Just a thank you. This is like a rite of passage. How fun is this?
Yeah.
I'd like to thank the Academy. Yeah.
Just a thank you, that's all I have.
Under City Council, comments by council, Vice Mayor Norris.
I just had a couple things. Since Tony Gross is here, I wanted to tell you that everybody needs to go to Frankie's Patriot Barbecue. I was there last week and had your lamb, and it was, oh my God, I just want to go there every week now. So everybody go to Frankie's Patriot Barbecue on, I don't know if it's Tarpon Springs Road at that point, or is it East Lake Road? Keystone Road. Okay, Keystone Road, yeah. And I had attended Phil Fest, and it was a really nice event. So that's another thing. If you didn't make it this year, try next year because it's for a really good cause. And I don't really have a whole lot else to say.
Thank you.
So that's it. Thank you.
Councilmember McGee?
I surprisingly don't have much or anything.
And no birthdays?
Well, only just a small thing, the resurrection of Jesus. Happy Easter to everybody, since that's coming up here soon. And that's all I have.
Councilmember Beaverland?
Yeah, I just have just thank you all for who you are. And I just have one question. When you come off in Forest Lakes Boulevard onto 580, would somebody tell me what that ignorant box is up there that says no right-hand turns?
Ignorant box.
Explain that to me. Somebody explain to me how that works. Because you can sit there with that thing that says no right-hand turns and nobody's doing anything. And am I going to get a ticket?
Where, Jerry? Where?
Am I going to get a ticket when I turn right there?
Where? Where is it again?
I think it's primarily related to the school crossing.
It works all day long sometimes.
What crossing are you talking about?
Well, there's actually been some other safety enhancements made to the intersection recently, including those signs that tell you how fast you're going on 580 in both the east and west direction. But they're all related to that becoming a school crossing over a year ago.
I come out there about noontime, a little before noon. And that thing's up there, red light blinking at you, no right-hand turns, and people behind me honking at me, because I'm sitting there, worried I'm gonna get a ticket if I turn there. There's no school lot then. Why is it running on, should it be running just at school, when the school crossing guards are there?
I don't know, maybe Lisa knows a little more about it.
Yeah, somebody needs to hit, because I'm gonna tell you something.
It would be if you are
I'm not gonna sit there.
southbound on Forest Lakes Boulevard.
Southbound on Forest Lakes at 580, you can't turn right to go over the bridge?
That's right.
Right, Lisa Ray, Director of Public Works.
The flashing sign this big, you can't miss it.
It was originally installed for the pedestrian crossing, and it is only supposed to activate if the button has been pushed or if the crossing guards are out there. I'll have Pinellas County look at it.
Do that, because
Yes.
I'm gonna sit there and that thing, and I got 35 cars behind me on 580, and I'm not turning right, and everybody's mad at me because I'm sitting there, because that's, in fact, I turned around at the car behind me and said, "Can you see the sign?" I'm gonna run it. I mean, that's dumb.
Well, I just think it's malfunctioning. The intent is that it only works when it's either school hours and the crossing guard is out there, or if somebody has actually pushed the button for crossing. So I will have Pinellas County definitely look into it. It's malfunctioning at the moment.
I think it would be great for the crossing guards, but for somebody else to push a button there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon makes no sense to me, for that thing's up there when people can't turn right. They're backed up to Tampa Road now.
We need to run out there and push it every time Jerry's
That
there.
doesn't make any sense. So take the button away.
Well, the button is what activates the crosswalks. The little indicators that'll tell people it's safe to cross the road. It's tied to that button that people use for the crosswalk.
That big sign?
Yes.
I'm surprised you haven't had people really, I'm upset. When you got 25 people behind you honking your horn and wanting to shoot you because you're not turning right.
Better turn right.
Want to shoot you?
No, I understand, and I'll have Pinellas County look at it. It's obviously malfunctioning right now.
Lisa, while you're up there, did you get any response about the Forest Lakes and Tampa Road fiasco that was going on?
Yeah, they looked back at their information from their files, and they weren't showing any malfunctions at that time. They're monitoring it more closely.
Okay. I got quite a few calls that it just was letting 2 cars through and then shutting off.
And then shutting off, and that was coming off of Tampa Road going on to Forest Lakes?
I think, it
Because
was both.
I heard about two different directions.
One was a Forest Lakes and Tampa Road, and the other was Tampa Road to Forest Lakes.
Yeah, and we notified them about both of them, and they were monitoring it.
When you're going north on Forest Lakes and you want to turn left on Tampa Road,
right?
And then you're right. You have 2 cars that make the green light, and then the other cars have to stop because that thing's a matter of a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Are they using the ITS now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
they
it's
are.
working great, can't you
Because,
tell?
you know, I come home that way every day and it changes, you know, sometimes only 1 or 2 cars come and other times 10 cars go through the queue, so.
Right, yeah, they are using the ITS, and so it's looking at all the different directions, and sometimes the sensors get a little off.
Fogged up.
Yeah,
But if you remember, we had a presentation about 6 or 8 months ago from the county about, you know, how it works.
I wasn't here.
Well,
Well, you already know
watch
how
the
it works.
videos.
Right. I was on the MPO though, yeah.
I'm sure he watched it on TV.
But no, I didn't know if it was implemented yet or not. I mean, I see the cameras all over the place, but.
funny.
Anything else?
Just thank you for your all.
Jim?
I got a question, this is kind of a new guy question, but I don't know if you guys, I know we had discussions at one point in time about LED lights for our streeting lights and stuff. And the reason why I ask is I had the opportunity to stay in a city called Western Florida last week. And they all have that throughout the city, and it makes a marked difference in the way the town lights up. And I don't know, I'm sure there's an expense to it, of course, but I don't know if TICO would be primarily the person that would do that, or do we pay for that to happen? How does that work?
I mean, I talked to, and I gave it to Bruce. My neighbor actually works for an LED light company and is going in. They went into, I think, all of the, I don't remember if it was Applebee's or Chili's, and are doing that. And he gave us some information on the library, and it was amazing. Although there's some cost to it, the return on investment was only like 2 years to regain, and the savings on electricity and things like that. So, I mean, there are companies that are doing it, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe somebody else knows, I think it's being mandated, you know.
Because the way it lights up, it's just spectacular.
Didn't we do even when you were mayor, I think, didn't Tico or somebody come and do one right out? I don't remember when John Mulvihill was here, the light right in front of City Hall, they did a test to see how the illumination was or something?
Yeah, that was us. We're looking at doing a demonstration on lights we own, either parking lot or street lights. Citywide, that would be up to Tampa Electric, and I'm not sure that they have that in their rate structure at this point in time.
So that would come with a rate increase to the residents, or?
Well, I'm relying on memory and what I've read in other locations, but it was in Florida that streetlights, the major investor-owned utilities, which I think we have 4 of them in Florida, including Tampa Electric. Of course, the rates for every service are approved by the Public Service Commission, and it was either Florida Power and Light or Duke that had higher rates for LED streetlights than for conventional, what are they, mercury vapor or something? Sodium, I'm not sure even what they are. Sodium vapor lights. But anyway, I don't know that Tampa Electric even has such a rate existing yet. I probably will.
But I mean, there's just a huge difference between what we have and what I saw in Weston. It was just, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's, I think, pretty obvious just to anybody who walks or drives through it.
Right. That was actually the first time I've seen it in the city, where the whole
Yeah.
city had it.
Wow.
It
Well,
was really
Bruce,
nice.
could you look into it with Tampa Electric and then
Sure.
let us know?
And the other thing I've got is Friday, April 25th, right?
Yep.
I should know this. 6 p.m. is our Relay for Life. Starts at 6. Mayor will come out and give a speech. 9 o'clock's the luminary ceremony, and then we end it at 7 a.m. on Saturday, right?
Right.
Want to invite everybody to come out and participate. Monday, we're going to have a potluck dinner where we're going to collect all our money. I think we had a meeting last night. We have 35 teams, which was our goal. And our sponsor money, we exceeded our goal for the sponsor money, and then for our total monies, we're on track, is what they're telling me, to make our goal. So we're pretty proud of that, and just want to encourage everybody to come out, even if you come out just for a walk or something. We've all been affected with a loved one, a friend, a neighbor who's been stricken with cancer, and we're there to celebrate those who have passed, those who have survived, and those who are fighting it now. So please come on out. It's at Canal Park, 6 p.m.
Where's the potluck?
That's also at Canal Park.
The Canal Park on Monday, this
Yes.
coming up Monday?
That's at 6 p.m. also. Is that right, Ann? Did I get that right?
Right.
So the next Monday? Yes, okay.
21st
At
and the
Canal Park.
25th Friday is the actual event,
Okay.
yeah. So encourage all to come.
Tell them the goal.
Go.
No, the goal.
Oh, the goal? Well, I thought the goal was going to be 100,000, but I think our goal was 77, and we're shooting for that, and that's pretty good compared to what the other relays are doing right now. So something we all should be proud of.
And just to acknowledge, done a great job. You're the chairman of the,
I am the chair of this year's event. yes.
chair of this year's event. So look forward to going out there. We did the Mongolian grill thing the other night for one of the teams, and oh, my wrist. Yeah, I went to pick up my water and I spilled it all over myself, but
Anybody shaving their head?
yeah, you are, as the vice mayor, shaving your head.
Oh, I did reach out to Mayor Steingel is now the new mayor of Safety Harbor, and I reached out to him. We played phone tag last night and today, but the mayor of our city and hopefully the mayor of City Harbor will come up with a friendly wager. I don't know how receptive he's going to be since he lost pretty much every year to us. So we'll see. But he's a good sport, so I think I can talk about something for Doug to beat him.
Yep, exactly. Anything else?
That's it.
Thanks. I only have a couple of things. We started, and it goes through April 30th. It's a competition against a bunch of other cities. Oldsmar joins Nationwide Mayor's Challenge to be the most water-wise city, and it's categorized by different size cities. And I don't know, is there a website or something? I'm not sure where we get it. Is it on our website?
Yes, it's on our website.
It's on our website, and you do there, and you just make a couple of pledges of how you're going to do it, and you log your city as the City of Oldsmar. Even if you have family members outside the city, they can log in as So
What are we ranked now?
I'm not sure.
Last I saw was 28th. Are we, what are we?
13th.
13th?
13th.
We're 13th?
Nice.
Yay.
And when we started this just a couple of weeks ago, we were up over 100, weren't we? I think, or something. Well, yeah. So
We're ranked 13th in the whole country?
yeah, for cities our
Our
size.
size, right. So everybody needs to go and do that.
Go to our website, myoldsmar.com. Saturday, April 19th, 9 a.m., Breakfast with the Bunny at Chick-fil-A. So you can always go do that. That's always a fun event. Chick-fil-A does that. As Jim mentioned, I had that on mine. Relay for Life, 6 p.m. the 25th. It's a great event, and we, as a city, I think you guys in the city clerk's office does a great job of encouraging people to get out there and really giving them a reason to walk. And the beads, I think, last year were super nice. I don't know, those that weren't there, what happened was you put beads on and you walked laps. For every lap that you walked, you added another bead. And you really didn't know who you were walking for, but it was for somebody in the city or even city staff that is battling cancer. And it was kind of neat. And I said, I don't remember exactly what I wrote in the card, but it was kind of neat not knowing who you were walking for, because cancer really doesn't know who it's attacking. It's just attacking, random people. And I think that it was neat to walk that and then find out after the fact who you actually walked for, which was kind of neat. So Ann's got a small set of beads that she's worked on. It's great if you've been by the clerk's office. So that's a great thing. And then I've got this. I assume there are openings Friday, May 2nd. It is the annual golf tournament for our Leisure Services Department, annual golf tournament at the Eagles, Odessa, 1 p.m. shot. Starts, you playing, Jim, this year?
Reigning champs, 7 years in a row. No. I think so.
Yeah, that's, but it is a great event and benefits summer youth camp programs. So anybody else have anything? Bruce, Tom, anything? No. Need a motion to approve the, of course you do.
I just let you all know I have my last cancer treatment.
That's awesome.
Awesome, that's great news. I'll stop for that anytime. Motion to approve the May 6th, 2014 agenda.
So moved.
Second?
A second.
That's right after Cinco de Mayo, too. Don't be late. Motion.
You got a motion second, okay.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Passes.